Good morning, Tony. I see we're the only ones here early.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, because I come on at like 8:30, 8:32, and there's like 50 people on. I'm like, man, I guess people get on here early. So I finished the client call. I'm like, you know what? Let me just jump on.
Yeah, people usually come in. Everyone comes in at like 8:26. That's when everyone just jumps on the call.
Is that right? Well, we're 2 minutes early. That's
yes.
Awesome. You know what? I'm gonna go get my glasses. Stinks to have to wear glasses now. Just started. Not good. Where are you from, Martha?
I live in Cliffside Park, New Jersey.
Oh, you're in Jersey. Cool. So much.
Oh, nice.
I'm in Bedminster. Oh, we got people coming on now. Jim, yeah. Justin, Shannon. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Everybody's shy. I decided, what the heck? I'm wearing a hat. I'm wearing a sweatshirt, drinking a cup of coffee. I'm good. Yeah, so I always thought I got to the party a little late. I guess everybody just jumps on a couple minutes before.
Yeah.
Good morning, Michael.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hello. Oh, all right, good.
And Fernando is in the house.
Hey, Fernando.
Tony, what the haps, brother?
What's going on, dude?
Rock and rolling, man. I heard bits and pieces, and the feedback from Saturday has been stellar. And I'm not confused because you're there and Sean were there. So that's awesome.
Awesome.
Is this microphone loud enough?
Oh, it's super loud. You might want to.
Am I too loud?
Yeah, you might want to turn it down.
I will turn it down. How about
awesome.
How are we doing now?
Is this Sexual Napalm, Mike?
This is Napalm right here, baby. Talking
what
to you.
What up, Sexual Napalm? Long story.
Napalm.
I'm talking to you on the SM7 B7 microphone, the one you see Mike Francesa using.
I love it. And we got some beautiful people. We got Darcy in the house. What up, Darcy? We're blessed with presence. We have Shannon. We have Jim.
What's up, guys?
What up, Miss Darcy?
Hey.
Justin. Todd, you are like a consistent human being. I don't know why I knew that you would be this way, but you are so this way. Just you say you're gonna do something and you do it, brother. So happy to have you here.
Way to show up. And Sean is now in the room. Morning,
Hi,
Sean.
Fernando.
Hi, hey, is that Hala?
That is Hala.
Hala.
Hey.
Oh,
how are you?
In a row. What a blessing.
How's everybody?
Well, I hear a lot of morning voices. Everybody has their morning voice on.
Others on the call. Tiffany Armstrong just joined. Michael Moran, what's happening? We got the Pete Fox, who, by the way, had an amazing event on Friday in City, the American Foundation for the Blind. Put around 60 people in there. Woo. Not only people, the right people. Sean did his Sean thing, galvanized the room. The movement is going. Sean challenged Ben to get 1,000 people on these morning huddles. 1,000 or 10,000, I'm not sure, but it was a big number that for Ben is probably small. So Ben, amazing job Friday in the city, brother. Thank you for having me there.
Hey, thank you. It was awesome. And I got to say, Sean showed that he's the king of going through the energies there. And the highlight of the night for me was at the very end when he asked people, he said, where should the responsibility be for getting out and getting...
You know, Ben, when you speak on your phone, you need to keep it still because you keep fading.
Oops. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, what's happening? And by the way, I think my favorite part of Friday was seeing Sean be in excitement and joy like a 2-year-old because we decided to go to TGI Friday so he could have his Jack Daniel's chicken strips. So that was a highlight. Besides everything else, we have Ruth here, who has committed to bring 5 people from the art and creative world to January's event. So Ruth, hello. Chris Young, you are the OG brother. Happy to have you. Dana, hello.
Thank you,
Dana.
sir.
Craig, you're another rock star. We have Nick Champagne, Tiffany Armstrong. I just want to say your name again because it's such a blessing to have you here after Friday's event. Daniel, we have Chumis. I hope I'm saying that right. I love that name. We have David, We got the legend Brad Himmel from Florida, brother. I hear you're doing amazing things. You're jumping in the game. I'm so proud of you for jumping back in. You have an amazing story. You're going through a tunnel, and yet you look so eloquent when you do it this morning. We got Chaz, Tamara. So happy to have you, Tamara. And to all the iPhone numbers and people that called in, I'm sorry I don't know your name, but I'm super happy to have you here. It is Ecosystem Merging Monday, and we have a lot of news, but I'm going to let Sean Callaghy, Jared, and Adam chime in as they jump in. Jay Levine, what's happening? Tish, Devin, and Tiff or Krista, I'm not sure who's here with Sean, but always thank you for making sure that Mr. Callaghy gets here. So let's see. Anyone else jumping in? Anyone else jumping in? All right, so
Good morning, Fernando. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Are these just audio calls, or are you guys using cameras?
No, brother, if you want to flip your camera on, please be a leader, jump on. I'm going to save and not ask questions because we're 1 minute away, and I want Mr. Callaghy to jump on promptly at 8:30 because we want to keep these calls to 15 minutes, as close as we can. Obviously, no more than 30, but it is now 8:30. So, Mr. Callaghy, are you here with us?
Hey, Fernando, I'm getting him on right now. Just give me a second.
Awesome. Thank you, Tiffany. Jared, I see you jumped in, brother. I'm excited for you to share the news and all the greatness and all the action that is happening in the world of unblinded sales mastery. So we are close to Mr. Callaghy jumping on. John, welcome, John. I hope and pray that we hit our goal of 100 people. I know Monday tends to be a little lapse, but we are getting close to that movement every single day. Let's see. Who else jumped on? Who else jumped on?
Good morning,
Somebody
it's
just
Krista.
Krista, what's happening, Krista?
Good morning.
See so many
look lovely.
names. We got
You look
Carlos,
lovely this morning, Krista.
Amanda. Is that Zoraida? Zoraida, that's a new name. Happy to have you here, Zoraida. We have Jimbo. Ooh, we have Lucianne, real estate mogul in New York City in the world of luxury. So happy we got to connect because of Ben's event on Friday. So Lucianne, very happy to have you here. You are a blessing to this group for sure. And by the way, Sexual Napalm, when Sean jumps on, if you can please mute yourself, deeply appreciated. Just for a second.
I don't know if I know where that mute button is. I will try to find it, but I'll just be quiet.
You got it, brother. We got Peter jumping in from England. What up, Mr. Swain in the building? Can't wait to see you at Date with Destiny next week. Always happy when I see your name on this call. Scott Martin, what's happening, brother? You are not in Hawaii anymore, but for some reason I think of Scott and I think of Hawaii. That is the association I have for you.
What's up, Fernando? Dave Harder from Epic.
Hey,
what's up, Dave Harder?
Dude?
What
Dave
up?
Harder, Mr. Callaghy.
Hey, Dave.
Happy Monday.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, yeah. Hey, Dorothy. Hey, Fernando. Hey, Dave. Hey, Adam. Hey, everybody. This is amazing. Jared, Rob, what's up? So listen. So here's the deal. Let's break this down for a second. If we could all mute ourselves, if there's anything in the background, could you please mute yourself? Because we got always new people on, trying to figure out, hey, like what's happening here. So I'm going to be reducing this into a tighter and tighter 60-second primer on what the call is. So happy Ecosystem Merger Monday, as well as Mastering Monday. And we'll get to that in a moment. The purpose of these calls is to see what we don't see about the fun and excitement of exponentially growing our sales. And our sales is in our business, in our life, in every single way, because the greatest attainable superpower is the ability to go from hello to yes. But most importantly, what does that translate into? That's called unblinded sales mastery, by the way. What that translates into is more money in less time with more magic in our lives. Why the huddle? Here's the deal. Personal development is an addictive dopamine-filled structure. It doesn't make it bad. Like dopamine could be great. It could be negative. It could addict us to gambling. It could addict us to smoking. It could addict us to alcohol, addict us to exhilarating behavior of all sorts, dysfunctional and not quite functional. So part of what we're doing here is creating, but dopamine can also be in personal development and equal no results, because we can feel good in spaces and learn things and not implement them. In addition, we believe here that proximity, as Tony Robbins would say, proximity is power. But proximity also, more importantly, equals the way we approach life. So if you're hanging out with a bunch of people that think that the height of life is, dating 100 people in, a month and running around like till 3 o'clock in the morning, it's likely that that's what your life will look like. If you're hanging out with people that think it's great to meditate 18 hours a day, you may not, and that's the primary group around you, you may not meditate 18 hours a day, but it's likely that your life will look a lot different if you're hanging out with the first group. The group we're assembling is neither. The group we're assembling are people that are interested in growing themselves economically, financially, abundantly, creating more free time and really building more magic in their life, and that's what we're doing. I am 1,000% sure. I've done huddles, by the way, for almost 20 years in my business, and it allowed me to become a business owner. It allowed me to function in completely different ways than I had ever functioned before. And so I said about a month ago, I'm like, we should be doing huddles because that would be in service of people. And the point is also not motivational and inspirational singularly, but we're going to tell stories here. We're going to highlight people here. And the stories and the people are going to give us lessons because it's tight. We're here 15 to 30 minutes, probably, optimally looking to land at about 20. And we do go over sometimes pretty regularly in the beginning here as we're assembling and assimilating and growing. And by the way, we had like 16 people in the huddle, the Friday before last Friday we had about 100 people. So there's been massive acceleration. It's an access point to building and grounding community. And this final point, or pre-final point, it's that there is acceleration that we all experience when we're in the space of growth and business development that is exponential. It is nonlinear. And for a lot of folks, we don't typically tend to understand that. And what happens for us is we operate much more in a space where we think that the results we're getting are just a little bit different. It's not a big deal what we do today. And it's not a big difference in how our skills develop. And that is the great lie of acceleration, of exponential growth, because for all of us, as our skills improve, our process improves, and our self-mastery improves. So self-mastery, influence mastery, process mastery. That's like the formula that we're learning and growing here and assimilating to, the more exponential our growth becomes. It is not linear, it is exponential. You don't go from 16 to 18 to 19, you go from 16 to 100. You go from 100 to 500. You go from 500 to 2,000. And very few people ever experience that exponential acceleration. And that's what results in most people, living, paycheck to paycheck, but maybe better than that, living in a space where they might have a 3-person, 5-person, a 10-person business. They might be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a coach, a marketing consultant. They might be in multi-level marketing, and they just don't quite ever get anywhere near the space they want to get to. So what we're really doing here is supporting people and getting to that space that creates the life you want, whether that's to make $500,000 a year, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, 300,000, 200,000, whether that's to have 8 to 12 weeks vacation or have the ability to never work again and have a magical, amazing, fun, and exciting time doing it. That's what we're up to. So with that said, entry point, Hala, are you out there today? All right, they got you guys?
I know she was on the call. She may be trying to unmute herself at the moment.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so let's jump. So AFB was Friday. Fernando, what was present for you at the AFB? Because we always have multiple topics to chat about. So Fernando, what was present for you? Hey, okay, we'll jump.
Yeah.
Yep, give me 1 second, Hal. We're going to jump here and then come back to you. So what was present? So Friday went to the American Foundation for the Blind.
Yes.
It was an incredible meeting. I want to acknowledge Ben Fox and all the remarkable work that he did. And here's what exponential looks like, okay? Fernando, what would you have presumed? Actually, you know what? Let's have Darcy participate in this conversation.
Sure.
Darcy,
jump in, Darcy.
Darcy, you there? Both of us. Darcy, you there as well?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, hey. So going in, Fernando, stay live with me. And this is an example, by the way. Number one, we talk, folks, and reminder to everybody of the power of the microphone. When you have the microphone, it gives you the ability to create leverage and exponential, but not just because of the audience, but because of the power of your message and your influence. Now, microphone could be in the space of a live audience. It could be the space of an online video, a webinar. It could be in the space of a one-on-4 meeting in a diner. The microphone gives you power, and we're going to talk about the exponential power of words as well before we wrap up today. So we're going to go Fernando Darcy, AFB, exponential example. Hala applying the formula, exponential example, and then finally tying it in content-wise to microphone equals exponential, not only in terms of the quality of the audience, in terms of access for you, but also in terms of the quality of your messaging and influence and the exponential impact, the exponential differential in impact you have. Meaning, so many different people could have stood up on Friday and had a wild variety of different impacts. And here's what happened. So, Darcy, going in to a fundraiser, thank you so much for being there on Friday. Thank you for everything that you do here. You're a warrior coming up from DC. Like, you've been all over the place. You've been sharing, touching, breaking things open. Thank you. So for you, though, coming to a charitable function like Friday night, what would you have expected the message to be, right? Like, just the basic message.
I had the privilege of driving Kirk up from DC to Long Beach Island. So I had a little bit of a head start because I got to talk to him about what AFB does. But for me, it was that 70% of people who are blind don't have jobs or are in poverty, and how difficult it is for them to get work. And it just kind of makes me sick. So
yeah.
we're
so what
going
I'm hearing,
to,
if I could,
yeah.
So what I'm hearing is it would have been a sad message, right? Inspiring people to do something, to feel, and the something that you would have expected typically at a charitable event was to do what? Like, what would people normally at a charitable event, one word typically people are looking for, and that word is what? What do you think?
Well, it was very inspirational for me.
Cool. Inspirational. And people are probably looking for money. Is that a fair,
Yes.
like, people, causes want to raise money, right?
Yes.
So is that a fair encapsulation of what probably most people are expecting? Come to event, hear message, have money raised, and all feel good because we did something, we sacrificed our time, we contributed our time, we contributed, some money, and we feel better. Is that a fair encapsulation of a normal, functioning, charitable type event? Fair?
Normal, yes.
Yes. Fernando, stay with me, Doris. Fernando, is that what it looked like on Friday night?
The direct answer is a giant no.
No.
Okay. And by the way, you go, what does this have to do with me? It has this to do with you. I had a decision to make. Would I go up? Would I inspire? Would I motivate and make people feel good? Do my job, and everybody hugs me and smiles and says, oh my God, that's so great that you did that. Thank you so much. It's so wonderful. And I feel good. Everybody feels good. And it's safe. And we go home. But there's a challenge. I'm like, if that's what I do, nothing's going to change. Like, it's good that I'm involved with the AFB. It's good that I've done what I'm doing. But I'm not here to do that. Because the rate of unemployment for the blind has been the same for, like, years. And I'm not serving Ben Fox, the blindness community, Kirk Adams, Adriana, Helen, all these people. I'm not serving them, but leaving everybody feeling comfortable and where we are. We need a disruption. And Fernando, did it look like a disruption?
It definitely looked like a disruption. For a second, I lost my breath because I had no idea how you were going to tie it together. And in your Sean Thing way, you did, with disruption and impact for sure.
Yeah. So here's the access point that you want to have when you're speaking. Okay? The access point you want to have when you get the microphone is you want to create, right? And this is like core content for today, for exponential growth. This is how I built my law firm. This is how I built everything I've ever built. And I've been privileged and fortunate enough to build a 40-person law firm, to build coaching training companies, to go from back of the rooms to front of the room for thousands of people, blah, 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 blah. Top 100 verdicts. It gets built by disrupting congruently. Like, so for Darcy, was I landing on that group of people congruently when I was disrupting? Like, they may not have agreed in the beginning, but was I congruent? Meaning, was there alignment of my words, my body language, and my physiology? Was it resonant? Might have been disruptive. It might have been surprising, shocking, but was it aligned and resonating?
100%, and it was very effective.
Yeah, no, thank you. So that was happening, and that's what you need to be. So you're creating a disruption, so you are unique, and people become curious. So when you're at your BNI meeting, your chamber, your LATIP, You're speaking in front of the United Nations. You're at Google. You're doing a daily video. 6 people are watching. You want to be disruptive congruently so that you're unique and people become curious. So Fernando, could you speak to that for a minute? Did those things occur initially? And then we'll get to the wrap up and then bounce to Hala. So did those things occur?
Did those things, disruption, attention, congruence? Yes. One of the things I love about you is that I believe that you hope that someone disagrees with you when you're speaking. Most people would probably dread it. For you, it is always an access point, and how you handle that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And by the way, learnable, right? Learnable, because I asked a question. I enrolled the group. We're not going to dive into that content. In fact, this week, right, on our hour-and-a-half call, we'll dive into public speaking at depth. And for those that don't know, I will boldly claim this. I will put my skill sets on stage and my ability to teach them against anybody on the planet. Fernando, is that an overstatement? For those that are new, this is for new people, so they can understand, what are we learning here? Why would I come back every day at 8:30? So do you agree with that statement about the access point for people's learning? And why are you here?
Yeah, you've actually challenged someone to $250,000 to charity, that you can out-influence anyone on a neutral set of facts. And I'm here because as someone that has studied and is well-versed and is obsessed with human development and communication, I've never been exposed to a more transferable, scalable, fancy words, which mean a simple formula. I don't want to demean the formula, but it is a simple formula that you can teach, apply, and then see exponential growth as long as you commit to mastery.
Yeah, awesome. So at the end of the day on Friday, my disruption was, listen, we have to align with blind people to empower them because it's the fastest, simplest route. And we can complain about employers all day long, and there should be complaining, but there needs to be an action-oriented how process to get ourselves there that continues to exponentially grow. But in the meantime, and the AFB, by the way, is doing all these things wonderfully, but I want to create a very focused accelerant and use these huddles as an access point, because it'll be the only place that people can come together consistently each and every day. So in addition to everything else we're doing in these huddles, we're changing the way people, because I'm legally blind, we're changing the way people feel about folks that are legally blind in terms of their empowerment, the meaning of words. And I'm going to come back to that after Hala, because the meaning of words is one of the key outcomes for us here. To understand the emotional and energetic transference of language and how we deliver it, that'll dramatically and exponentially change the ability you have to influence people, okay? So end of the day, Darcy, did people leave ready for something bigger and more? Did you feel the energy of a movement and a galvanized thing happening on Friday? Because that's at the end of the day, everyone, not only are people, do you want people when you're speaking to feel that you're unique and make them curious? You want them to feel the possibility of, guys, just mute yourself. Somebody's outside. Mute. You want them to see the power of potential and possibility, that there might be a movement, to see their future in you. And Darcy, was that the impression that group of people were left with, that there's a movement happening here and that there's some access point that could possibly finally disrupt this problem? Do you think people left with that energy and feeling?
People definitely left with that energy, and I think they're excited to learn more and see a plan of how they can contribute and help. And you're leading by example with what you're creating. So I know we can't wait to see how you lead the charge. It's going to be incredible.
No, thank you. And what that looks like, by the way, it looks like empowering 10 leaders, well, 1 leader, then 5, then 10, then 50 to be on these huddles in the blindness world and keep expanding. So all of a sudden it's 1,000 blind people. And then it's 3,000, and having a proximity ripple effect of influencers influencing influencers. And that's what you're learning to do for your business, for your message, and to join us here with what we're doing. So Fernando, Darcy, everybody that was there on Friday, thank you so much for being there. Those that are new from Friday, come back here every day. We're not done yet. Hala, in 90 seconds, you had amazing impact with the formula. You had a massive opportunity to go do something, but with no idea where to go, what to do for most people. But you went right at it because you're trying to create accountability for the opioid crisis. Hala Julie, by the way, is the best personal injury attorney in the state of New Jersey. I would argue in the country, is absolutely unbelievable. I had the privilege of calling her my friend and my partner. And Hala went around with this narrow window to deal with the opioid crisis and get to mayors and municipalities. She learns that there's a mayoral meeting in Atlantic City, jumps in her car and flies down, and the setting is walking into a room full of mayors, many of whom were drinking, congested, crazy, no room to breathe. Like, what do you do from there? Not able to find anybody or anything, feeling, you know, any normal human being not knowing anyone, particularly in a gender, you know, kind of specific world where there was like all men and you're a woman, or if it's all women and you're a man, there's a thing there, right? So Hala walks into that. So good morning, Hala. Happy Mastery Monday.
Good morning, Sean. Good morning, everybody. Happy Mastery Monday. Sorry about earlier. I had unmuting challenges. And before I tell you that, I just want to say that I've been on these huddles. I haven't spoken, but the content, the love, the fun, the energy, it's truly a privilege and a blessing to hear all of you. So thank you for that.
And Hala, what is your belief? What is your belief in the power of the formula? Like, how high is your level of belief? And we've been working together for about 2 years. How clear is it to you that this formula has that power? And like, what are you gaining from it?
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 15. So I truly wholeheartedly believe in that. And it worked. And it worked just last Wednesday in Atlantic City. And I have firsthand knowledge, and it's been working for me. So as you stated, I went down to Atlantic City to a bunch of mayors and administrators. Heading down there, I was under the impression that I was going to be met by a friend who's going to be taking me along and introducing. Unfortunately, he was not there. So I was left just to kind of do it on my own, but that's a misstatement because it wasn't on my own. It was with the aid of the formula. So first off, I walk into this room that's congested. It felt like a bunch of sardines with all of these mayors. I don't know a soul. And normally, maybe a year ago, 6 months ago, I would have been, okay, this is useless and kind of given up. But right then and there, I look around and I was trying to find someone. And I felt empowered because at that moment, I was like, okay, I have tools, I have technology in my pocket. I can use that. And it was like, okay, this is a little bit awkward, but let me draw on what I know. Let me draw on the formula. And in that moment, I implemented the fun energy, the goddess energy, the Zeus energy, and it got me to where I wanted to get. I met the people that I wanted to meet, and that yielded results. Then from there, moved to a different location in a room where people were just sitting, hearing about the opiate epidemic. People were emotional, and they were crying about what happened in their towns. And again, normally I would have been saying to myself 6 months ago, you know, this is not the platform for me. I can't, as an attorney, I can't get up and talk about litigation because, you know, these people are hurting and I'm going to come across as, you know, this attorney who's just trying to get the retainer signed and all of that. But you know what? That moment, that feeling lasted only a few seconds because at that moment there was a microphone and all I could hear and all I could see and envision was Sean Callaghan saying, the power of the microphone, the power of the microphone. And I got up and I used that power of the microphone, even if it was just for a few minutes. I spoke conscious of all these tools, conscious of the words I was saying, intentional, purposeful with my energy transference, with all the tools that we've been learning from this formula. And I spoke. And then when that was done, almost less than an hour later, I get a message, on a text message from one of the councilwomen there saying, we want to sign on, send us the retainer. So my friends, the formula, I have firsthand knowledge that it absolutely works. And the value of having these tools and having the language saying, okay, fun energy, the power of the microphone, energy transfer, to have those tools at your disposal, it is absolutely priceless, and it works.
Yeah, Hala, great job. So thankful. And by the way, that could lead to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars of business. At the least, it'll be hundreds of thousands, right? Just that moment. And Hala's decision could have left her with zero for a trip to Atlantic City. For those that are from New Jersey, that's about a 2.5-hour drive that Hala took, leaving her beautiful sons, behind for the night, and going to do that. And that could have been a zero or that. And that's why we talked about, we're going to wrap it in 2 minutes here. That's why we talked about the power of the exponential, because the power of the exponential says that if Hala doesn't do that, it's not like it's $100 or $200 or $300. It's zero or like hundreds of thousands. Like that's
Sean is Rob. Can I edify one thing about Hala, if you don't mind?
Yeah, and by the way, Rob Gill was the access point for that meeting today.
Well, listen, I know you said that, and thank you, and I appreciate that. But I want to just give a shout out to, because you said it at the top when you introduced Hala, and Hala, great job, by the way, as always. I don't know if it lands. You're welcome. I don't know if it landed. It landed on me because I've been in that room and I know exactly what the Chamber of Commerce conference looks like in Atlantic City. But just the amount of people influence and connections, and if you're an outsider, which she may have been when she stepped into that meeting that day, for what she did in that space was incredible, because she didn't have Bill there to take her through it, right? So she got in the door, thank God, right? But once in that door, once in that high octane environment, for her to do what she did to me, and the formula obviously was what she had in her pocket, and being able to utilize what she had to do from one small step at a time, because all you need to do is get one little conversation to go to the next conversation, to the next conversation, staying congruent with the indispensable elements, the 4 energies and the 4 steps. What begins to happen is what Hala did, and she crushed, as you say, fear and distortion, right? She crushed it on the spot, even if she was, that's my dogs in the background, even if she was feeling it. And what she did, I think it's important to all the folks on the phone right now, was an incredible feat based on utilizing the formula and being partners with you over the last 2 years, year and a half, and going through your training program, because it transcends all industries. It's not just about one specific industry. It's about all the different industries when it comes to Hello to Yes and any kind of integrity-based human influence conversations. I just wanted to throw that out there because I think it's important.
Yeah, and for those
Thank
that
you,
don't know,
Rob. And this wouldn't have been possible without Rob. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you. Rob went from 8 to 175 meetings a month, 8 sales meetings a month to 175 meetings a month. It's been unbelievable. Jared, real quick, any housekeeping final points from you, brother?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My voice is still not back yet, so hopefully you can hear me. But big day. We're going to transition from the WhatsApp group because we are at capacity, and it's also it's a little bit difficult to organize, or very difficult to organize, as many of you have said. So it's a great opportunity now to really deploy the power of one, because we've made it much easier for you to invite people, and the group itself is going to be significantly more organized. So here's the action for you to take. Go to unblindedmovement.com. It's really simple. unblindedmovement.com, which is going to direct you to a private Facebook group. Ask to join. Watch the 90-second welcome video from Sean. Introduce yourself in the comments below, and literally invite every single person on the planet that needs to be part of this movement. This group can scale to the moon and back. It's heavily organized already. Every single morning huddle and evening training that has taken place is organized inside the units of this Facebook group, which means that it's all categorized. You can find exactly what you're looking for based on the date that you may have missed. You can watch it / listen to it right there. You can comment on it there. You can ask questions right there. So it's a really organized way for us to scale this movement. It's still free. It'll always be free for you. But today is the day. Transition from the WhatsApp group to unblindedmovement.com. At the end of this week, Friday, we'll just stop the WhatsApp group altogether, and all reminders and notifications and everything will take place directly inside of that Facebook group at unblindedmovement.com. And you have the permission to invite every single person you know that should be part of this movement. Get them in that group. Let them watch the 90-second video from Sean and then introduce themselves to this wonderful group, this wonderful ecosystem where together we achieve more. Remember, unblindedmovement.com. Take action right now. Join the group. We'll get you on the inside, and let's scale this thing. I believe we will be at 1,000 people in that group before the end of November. Play your part so we can get there.
And I got to acknowledge Jared. He has been an absolute beast at just like knocking things out of the park and making things happen continuously. Final acknowledgement, and then we're wrap. Adam Gugino is just on fire everywhere. He did such a beautiful job with Tony Rodriguez and the Basket Brigade. Thank you, Tony, for a phenomenal. Check out our Zoom call or Facebook Live combined from Saturday. Tony did a beautiful job. He's amazing. He's on the line. What's up, brother? Thank you so much. Adam, thank you for representing the Unblinded movement and all of our ecosystem, being there and supporting with the Basket Brigade and everything that was going on. Thank you for Tony for launching that, organizing it, raising money, doing incredible things. And listen, it is Mastery Monday, and this is all about an ecosystem merger Monday. Go merge ecosystems. As Jared said, go contact all the folks that you know, but make sure one more person is on this call tomorrow. The power of one. Thank you. Happy Mastery Monday. Have an incredible day.
Appreciate all of you. We'll be at 1,000 by the end of the week, by the end of the day.
Let's go.
Blessings,
Thank you.
everyone. We will see you
Have a
in the
great day,
WhatsApp.
everyone.
And we're
Thank
transitioning
you.
over to the Facebook.
Have a great day.
Blessings, and I'll see you soon.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome
What it looks
day.
like, everybody. This is what it looks like.
Thanks everybody for a great call.